What was the evolution of electronic trading on NYBOT?
Many of the traders knew that electronic trading was a powerful alternative to open outcry. And I think our customers would tell us that they preferred open outcry, they preferred the personal interaction. And so I think some of us might have been given a false sense of security that the customers would always support open outcry. On the other hand, you had brokers that I think realized that if electronic trading were to take over and open outcry were to end, then the current livelihood that they enjoy in an open outcry trading environment might come to a termination. And I saw those people do things that they shouldn't have done. And what I mean by that is, they weren't trading in the most ethical of manners. And I think that contributed to people wanting electronic trading or computerized trading. And I was always fearful that if those who were unethical continued to do what they did, then it would really speed up the cry for open outcry to cease and for the markets to trade electronically. I don't think that if everyone was pure as the driven snow and honest in all their business dealings, that there would still be open outcry. I don't believe that. Electronic trading has shown itself to be, very efficient, and despite, it eliminating floor traders' livelihoods or careers, the marketplace has not suffered at all with electronic trading. I think the first thing that was interesting was Globex. We spoke to Chicago about Globex. We went out there and had meetings with Terry and Craig and even Bernie Dan and Charlie Carey. You wanted to do that, to kind of keep pace with what the big guys are doing. In Chicago, they were the big guys. NYMEX was pretty big, but I think we always felt that they were close to us. I think some people at the exchange felt a little bit inferior to NYMEX because they were a much wealthier exchange, both in their members and their seat values and their trading volumes. They were much wealthier than us, and so going through some of those experiments or experiences, I should say, of dealing with Terry Donahue and Terry Duffy and Craig Donahue, and then Bernie and Charlie were good experiences for us. But Jeff Sprecher was and is a brilliant man who succeeded in converting the IPE, I believe, in London to electronic trading. And he had strong and very powerful partners in his business. He had dealt with some of the banks. He had dealt with some of the big houses, and he was a factor. And I don't know why. I don't know why, John, but I got along well with Jeff. I don't think it has much to do with our engineering background, but he was just a soft-spoken Midwestern guy. I think he went to Wisconsin University, and he was probably born and raised up in that area. And he was just an intelligent man who respected what we were all going through, and he was looking to make an investment in changing how the market's traded. And I mean, I don't have to tell you or anybody that's watching or listening to this, he is a fabulous success story in our business. And for NYBOT having dealt with Jeff is something that I think we all are thankful for.
Did you ever have open trades?
There's this one time I'll never forget it. One of our good accounts was was somebody I was friendly with. He was clearing with Refco, And Refco also had their own broker on the trading floor. He had the opportunity to give his trading orders to the Refco broker on the trading floor, or to any of the independent brokers like myself, as he so choose. So one day the market is shitting like an elephant, and he gives my clerk an order to like sell 100 whatever. So let's say it's 100 July. So I get the order to sell 100 July. I start selling July, and now the market's like coming down in 25-point clips, which is really aggressive. So one of the things that we used to do is to try to stop the market from pooping out, as I will say, is a guy with a book like ours. You might just say, even money for 50, and then all the locals will pay 5 and 10 and 20, and it'll kind of stop the market a little bit. Other orders come in the marketplace, and then you could probably start selling. Well, with this 100 lot order to sell, which I probably have sold 50, I say to the ring, even money for 50, and the Refco broker on the other side of the ring hits me. So now I own 50 lots that I just wanted to stop the market. I didn't want the 50 lots. I just wanted to stop the market from crapping out. So now I have 50 lots that I'm long from the Refco broker, and my Refco customer needs another 50 sales. So I had to eat. I felt so bad that I couldn't sell my 50 lots worse than the Refco broker on the other side of the ring sold his 50 lots. So I ended up being long 100 lots near the end of the day. And I think I ended up getting out of some of them, not most of them, but some of them. But I ended up that night with a big position. And 100 lots was a lot of money. 100 lots was a lot of money. Margin alone was a lot of money.
What were the other locals like?
There were some locals that were leeches. I'd have a customer order. Let's say I'm bidding even for 30. And they'll say they'll bid even for 32. Or they'll be even for 5. And so now I go to, if I go to sell something and I'm not there on my 30, they'll complain, and they'll scream and moan, and they'll, as I described at the top of this discussion, they'll try to go through you and they'll cause trouble. But I always felt, and it wasn't this way with the other brokers in my company, I always felt if you got along with the locals, sometimes they might help you. And I never expected their help, but I try to just be fair. I try to be fair, and then sometimes they were bad, and you'd have to leave them out of a trade. If everyone is bidding for the same price, you would have the ability to pick and choose who you wanted to trade with. And if you didn't pick them, they might be pissed off at you. And that's when, the fighting would take place.